So, if you're an entrepreneur or even just kicking around an idea for a business, you've probably felt it, that huge pressure. The pressure to come up with something totally new, something no one has ever seen before. You know that voice in your head that's always asking, is this new enough? Has someone already done this? Honestly, it can be completely paralyzing.
Yeah, the source material just hits the nail on the head here. It's such a classic trap, right? This idea that to build something successful, you have to be the next Steve Jobs and literally reinvent the wheel. But what if that whole way of thinking is just wrong? What if focusing on a new invention is actually distracting you from where the real breakthroughs come from?
So that's the big question, isn't it? If the goal isn't to be some lone genius inventing something out of thin air, then what is the key? What's the one thing you actually need to build a business that has a real lasting advantage?
Well, the answer is something a lot more subtle, and to be honest, way more powerful. It really all comes down to finding your secret.
The power of this idea is just how simple it is. See, a secret isn't some 100-page business plan or a complex patent. It's a contrarian truth. Think about Airbnb. Their secret was that people would actually trust complete strangers enough to sleep in their spare bedroom, an idea that the entire hotel industry thought was absolutely insane. It's an insight about the world that's valuable, but that most people just don't see.
Yeah. This right here captures the mental shift you have to make. Stop staring at a blank canvas trying to create something from scratch. Instead, start looking really closely at the world that already exists, but with a new pair of eyes. Ask yourself, what frustrations have people just kind of accepted as normal? What big problem is everybody in an industry just ignoring? That's where you find the secrets.
Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, but how do you actually find one? It's not about taking a long walk in the woods and waiting for a lightning bolt of inspiration to strike you. It's a much more grounded process than you might think.
And here's the crucial point. Your secret is probably hiding in plain sight, right in the world you already live and work in. It's born from the years you've spent in a specific field, the deep knowledge you've built up, and the frustrations you felt yourself. In other words, it comes from expertise. Luckily, the source material gives us this fantastic, actionable framework, breaking it down into three main pathways. First, maybe you know the tools better than anyone. You're an expert in a new technology, and you can see possibilities that other people just can't. Second, maybe you know the problems. You've worked in an industry for 10 years, and you know its real pain points better than any consultant ever could. Or third, you can draw from a unique life experience, which gives you a perspective that's basically impossible for an outsider to have. Now, once you finally unearth this secret, it's not just a clever observation you share at a dinner party, it becomes the absolute bedrock of your entire business. It becomes your ultimate unfair advantage. But why exactly? What is it about one simple contrarian belief that gives it so much power in a market full of competitors? This visual from Scaling Lean is just the perfect metaphor for this. Without a secret, you're basically blindfolded, feeling your way around this landscape. You might work really, really hard to climb a small hill. That's what they call the local maximum. You're just optimizing a small, obvious idea. But your secret insight? That's what takes the blindfold off. It lets you see the giant mountain, the real opportunity, that's right next to you, the one everyone else is missing. It completely changes the game.
And this is where it all clicks into place. This shows you just how foundational this idea really is. All these famous business concepts we talk about, an unfair advantage, a unique selling proposition, even a blue ocean strategy. What are they really? They are the result of having a secret. Your secret is the seed. These powerful competitive advantages are what grows from it. It's the cause, not just the effect. And that brings us to the psychological trigger, the surprising little twist that makes this whole concept so incredibly potent. It's all about reframing the idea of scarcity. We all get this, right? It's basic economics. If you have a limited edition of 500 sneakers, that scarcity creates demand and drives up the value. It's a fundamental principle we see every day. Okay, but here is the absolute key takeaway. Product scarcity, that's a temporary advantage. Sooner or later, someone can copy what you're selling. The most durable, most defensible advantage comes from insight scarcity. When you have knowledge that other people don't, an insight that is unique and really hard to copy, you build a moat around your business that is so much harder for competitors to cross. Your most valuable asset isn't what you make, it's what you know that others don't. So let's bring this all home and make it about you. Forget about inventing something from nothing.
Just think about the world you operate in every single day. What is the one secret, the one simple truth that you know about your industry, your customers, or your craft that most people, especially the outsiders, just get fundamentally wrong? Because that little insight right there, that isn't just an interesting thought. That could be the beginning of everything.